Are you looking for some great restaurants? For some great wines? Where are the great chefs? Listen to Dine Out Radio, heard every Wednesday on the Tan Talk Radio Network. 12 to 1 p.m., we'll tell you where all the great events are. We'll have Food and Wine Magazine and Bon Appetit Magazine. We'll have their editors and writers on each month. And maybe we'll throw in a couple surprises. Check out the website, diningoutradio.com.
My bridges all.
From the Sunshine State, this is Tampa Bay's Tan Talk.
Bill, another big show.
Hey, good start for one anyway. We're going to start off with the BPA Victor Lerner Award. That's like their Hall of Fame. Right up the road, Winter Haven, is Mike Ducat. And then a few surprises.
All right, let's start the show.
Let's go bowling!
Naturally. Welcome to the Let's Go Bowling Show, heard every Wednesday on the Tan Talk Radio Network. GoBowlingShow.com is the website. I'm Ken, the host. Like to welcome in USBC Go Coach Bill Zubin.
Hey, great to be here. Looks like we have a little confusion on the first phone call, huh?
Yep, that's just normal. So,
yeah. Hey, nothing like live radio to get things going like that.
Now, I don't know if any people had the chance to watch the match, the Belmonte Sean Rash matches, the 3 matches, and good for the game, bad for the game.
The Super Clash. Yeah, it was somewhat interesting. And let's see. Well, let me see if I can get Bill our phone number here and kind of explain a little bit what we got going on there.
It doesn't.
Well, anyway, the match. I think the commentators. You had the 3 guys and Randy, and I think they're very pro Sean Rash. And you can it kind of came up, and you kind of took that from them, the very pro Sean Rash, Bill.
Yeah, well, they went split decision 2-2 in the booth, but it was like, yeah, let's go with the American. But I think you really had to go with the hotter hand. I mean, they kept kind of stressing on what Jason's shortcomings would be on the shorter lane pattern, but
he got the breaks. Like
he got all the breaks. That was right. Yeah,
that's right. He carried all that stuff. Yeah,
that lucky guy from down under. Yep, that's right. All the breaks.
And even the last game, Jason Couch was talking about. They were all gonna. This is the 3rd game. They were all gonna go Sean's way because the first 2 games, pretty much Belmo got a lot of the breaks. So, and it didn't happen.
No. Matter of fact, it went just the opposite. So, I think they were a little bit. All right, this might be the moment when Sean threw that kind of a weird split. Not Sean, Jason, rather. And then it was the critique of, well, if he wanted to pick it up, he should have gone the other way. Well, like, huh? you never know how many pins you're going to need. It's 1 in, let's say, 1,000 that you're going to pick it up either way. And you can make it on either side, but you go for the wood. You take the 2, and a lot of matches have been decided by 1 pin or less.
What I find really interesting in that whole approach, or the whole thing of, they talked last week about Belmo's strike percentage, over 90% or 90%. Mm-hmm. And when you get strike percentages like that, no matter who you're bowling or what the conditions, it's a tough thing to beat when you have that type of, with that action, and you're getting those, 9 out of 10 strikes. That's, and then plus, you get a couple there. He had a few with the pins flying around. Like when I seen him at Kegel, he had the 3-waller, the pin bouncing off each wall 3 times. It's hard to beat that, Bill. And you see it all the time. All the young guys with all the power and the speed, and you're getting a lot of pins flying. Like Randy said, he wished he would have had some of the strikes like that, pin action.
Yeah, because, a messenger for them, that's a normal carry. Like for us mere mortals, just slapping out the 10-pin by the 6s, whoa, what a great shot. But to see that head pin come flying off, and there was one that did a somersault across the lanes. That's part of the game, folks, and maybe the announcers still are back a decade.
Well, they're talking old school, and it is. It's hard for you to compete. It's like you're at a Indy race and you're playing with driving a 4-cylinder instead of an 8-cylinder.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough and it's hard to compete. So that's why I don't know if this is really a level playing field when you have the two-handers in there as one hand because of what they can do with the ball. I don't know if that's really level.
Yeah. You kind of look at, well, in a 1 or 3 game match, anything can happen, because when we had Belmo on last week and we're asking, I mean, does he just have a second gear he goes into for the majors? But it's because it's the longer format. So you're going 50, 60 games.
90% strike.
So that 90% over course of 50, 60 games is a big thing. Over 3 games, who knows what can happen.
And that's why I think he probably, when we talked to him, when I was asking him about that, I think he misunderstood. The longer formats, the years back, how many titles might he have won because of that when you have the long games? You know, you're you're adding the pins up, and you have the long format.
Yeah, you go back to like the way back, I mean, before he was born even, like some of the World Invitationals or the BPA All-Star. I mean, you could bowl 100 games. And if you get that edge of, I'm going to carry 90% and you're going to carry 88, that 2% over 100 games, that can translate to a lot of pins.
You think we'll see a bowler that almost throws a ball almost all the way down the lane and then completely takes away the pattern?
I hope not, and I'm sure the proprietors don't. And that's a long way. And how much really can the ball do if it's lofted 59 feet down the lane? I'm sure there is probably some physics or math majors that can figure out how high the ball would have to go and what kind of speed you'd have to throw it to get 59 feet. But I'd probably think we'd have to raise the ceilings in the bowling centers to go 59 feet.
Well, Oskew's pretty, like you said, he said they don't go past 30 miles an hour or whatever, and he's probably 35, 38. He could be even more. And with that type of directory, throwing it over the chair, he can pretty much get the ball further down the lane to completely take the pattern away. Now, if you got a bowlers that start doing that and hitting in the pins with that type of force, you might get someone with 95% strike.
Yeah.
Then what do you do? How does the other guys compete against that?
Well, in USBC, back when they were ABC, they had done enough tests that there was 100% strike. If you could hit their defined 17.5 board, they could do tests with any weight ball, any entry angle. If it hit 17.5 or any speed, it was a strike 100% of the time. It's now, what was it? It's 17 or 16.5 or 18, and that's when entry angles and speeds and weights and all that started to be more of a play. Because I had one lady, I think it was last week, and she said, I just keep hitting the pocket. I can't get strikes. And this 10-pound ball, there's your answer.
But what was the way of the ball, the late girl that shot the 300?
12.
12?
But again, if you're dead flush and she throws the ball well matched up, ball speed and rev rate, so she doesn't throw it the fastest, probably like 13 miles an hour, but the rev rate matches up. She's got good form. And just like in real estate, location, location, location. You hit dead flush in the pocket, you're going to carry. It doesn't matter what kind of ball it is.
Okay, let me ask you this here as far as you saying what USBC, ABC said about the 17.5 board. Now, one of the most accurate players probably in the tour, would you say probably Earl?
Yeah. Earl, right now, currently, you could say Walter Ray.
And yet they can hit that, and yet they don't get those strikes. They're not at the 90%, 95%. So I don't know how true that statement is.
Well, because with his entry angle, as we're saying, what happens when he hits 17, 16.5, 16, or probably even 15? If you get some of those off the wall, what we'd call a kegel strike, where you trip the 2-pin, where the pin decks and the sideboards are just so tight, you got pins bouncing everywhere.
Well, probably the most accurate, I would probably have to say Earl, because of when Lenny was on saying that he would never hit any board that had the arrow on it.
Arrow, because it's a different material.
Right,
Yeah.
so if you can do that, I'm assuming he could have hit very consistently, and I've heard stories of him putting pieces of tape out there and consistently rolling over it, and if he couldn't do it, I think it's more theory, 17.5, 100% strikes.
Well, no, that was lab tests, because they could actually set up a device, a chute that the ball would just go down, and they could set it. And they not only could they, but they did, and all the different angles and different locations across what would be a strike zone. And
Was that the robot?
no, that was just a chute, so they just have to stand there, let the ball go down, and reset the pins by hand. So it was kind of a tedious thing back then.
The speed couldn't have been very fast.
It was a pretty good chute, so you could probably get 14, 15 miles an hour coming down off that chute.
And talking about the new balls that's out there with the weight blocks, there is a maximum, an optimum speed for those weight blocks to work.
Well, the one major factor tying in there is speed and rotation. So Track a long time ago had come out with basically a series of 5 of even being speed heavy or speed dominant or rev dominant, and 1 through 5. And if you were, let's say, a speed dominant, if they could get you one step closer, so like from a 5 to a 4 or from a 1 to a 2, that was progress. 3 would be optimum of matching up rev rates and ball speeds. And they had a chart of if you were 250 revs, then you wanted to be like 14 miles an hour, something like that. If you revved it up more, then you could go into faster speed, and that's what you're seeing on today's ball games.
Okay, let's take a quick break, and we're right back.
We're caught in a trap.
Hi, this is 13-time BBA regional title champion and 2013 national RPI champion Ben Laughlin. When I'm not out crushing it on the lanes, I like to listen to the Let's Go Bowling radio show.
Why can't you see what you're doing to me? When you don't believe a word I say, we can't go on together with suspicious minds.
Innovative ball spinners are the best quality spinners on the market and are sold at the lowest price in the world. These 1/3 and 1/2 horsepower motors are the best in the business, and each purchase comes with a 32-page manual as well as a DVD. Talk about value. Our spinners are smooth, quiet, and will not shake or wobble like other ball spinners. They are totally portable, so you can easily take them with you to tournaments. If you mention the Go Bowling Show when placing your order, you will receive a Surface Starter Kit free. That's a $24.95 value for free. The kit includes 6 different grits of sandpaper, maroon and gray Scotch-Brite pads, 8-ounce polish, 8-ounce compound, 8-ounce cleaner, and a towel. Everything you need to resurface and adjust plenty of bowling balls. There are many benefits to owning your own ball spinner. Saving money by extending the life of the bowling ball. You can add new balls to your arsenal instead of replacing old ones. You will be able to adjust the surface of the ball to match any lane condition. Order today online at innovativeballspinner.com or call toll-free 1-800-226-5891. innovativeballspinner.com.
The Monogram House is located at 5422 Main Street in downtown Newport Richey, and their phone number is 727-845-1578. Come in, and their friendly staff can help you with any of your needs. Bowling shirts, polos, for golf, or any event that you might be participating in. They do it all. Embroidery, screen printing, custom logos, and promotional items. Bowling season is coming up. Their hours are Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 5:30, Friday till 5 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's the Monogram House at 727-845-1578.
New national sponsor for the Let's Go Bowling Show, Motion Pro. Motion analysis software for all sports. And the website is motionprosoftware.com. What does the Motion Pro software do? Motion Pro has the software for the average bowler or coach, and it can track axis tilt rotation feature, lesson creator for coaches that add voice and videos that can burn to DVD, new email features directly from Motion Pro, used by Norm Duke and Next Level Bowling. You can overlay 2 videos at one time, review videos side by side, free updates for life, pay once, use forever. One of the best softwares that's in the market. And also they have Mac version. You can check them out, reasonably priced. Go to motionprosoftware.com, and you can always call them at 1-888-407-9665. Motion Pro.
Have you been injured in an accident? If so, before you settle your claim, it is important you know your legal rights. I'm Jim Magazine of the law firm of Lucas, Green, and Magazine. And at our firm, we believe in working closely with our clients. And this means you will receive personal attention. When you call, you will speak directly to an attorney who can answer your questions. With offices in Newport Richey and Clearwater, we have more than 50 years of legal experience working for you. Call us day or night, toll free, 1-800-4INJURY. DeLucas Green Magazine, your personal injury team.
Bringing a new beginning to bowling is Lordfield Bowling's mission right now. So, as the new guy on the block, Lordfield's quickly gaining recognition throughout the country through its ball test being done by Bowling This Month and Bowler's Journal. So you can check out the entire line of Lordfield equipment and accessories on the web at lordfield.com. And if you've got additional questions, need more information, you can call Tony Martin at 916-476-9542. And remember that Lordfield is changing bowling one bowler at a time.
Hi, this is Doug Kent. I'm up in upstate New York, freezing my 16-pound bowling balls off. And when I want to stay warm, I go inside and listen to the Let's Go Bowling radio show.
Welcome back to Let's Go Bowling. All right, Bill, I guess we're all set now.
We got him? I
Yep.
guess my pudgy little sausage fingers hit the wrong key, and when Mike gave me his cell number, I missed by 1. That's no congratulations on that.
Yes. All right, who do we have, Bill? Who are we going out to?
Hey, Bowling Proprietors Association of America, they have their Hall of Fame award, which is named after Victor Lerner, and this year the recipient will
He just got disconnected for some
That's
reason.
okay. That's okay.
will be the owner of Cypress Lanes in Winter Haven, Florida, Mike Ducat.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and he's going
As
to try
soon
to
as we get him back online again.
All right, Bill, so let's go ahead and here he comes, Junior, the producer, and he's going to get some information from you. You need to write the number down again, Bill, and we'll go ahead and get that. Now, here's something, Bill. We had Walter Ray Williams on last week talking. He didn't mention that the Ford Driving Skills for Life program he signs on as to be a spokesman. And exactly what is that?
Well, I think we know when GoRV was, or still is, one of the sponsors for the PBA, Walter was one of the most prolific drivers out there because he just didn't like to fly. So he'd drive that RV or trailer everywhere he want. So the Ford Driving Skills for Life it's an initiative to promote safe driving, which I think we need plenty of that out there, figuring that automobile accidents are the number one killer of teenagers in America. And we've read enough about the distractions between cell phones and texting and all that kind of stuff like that. So this is a program put out by the Governor's Highway Safety Association and a bunch of safety experts to teach newly licensed teens the skills for safe driving, and beyond what they'd get through their normal driver's ed class.
And
try him now.
And it was cheaper to go ahead and drive than to fly, because you have to get hotel rooms, you got to get your rental cars and all the other stuff. So a lot of them used to drive motorhomes and still do, like Parker Bone, quite a few.
Right, and that way you could carry your own bowling balls and shirts and all that with you instead of relying on
family.
the product services.
Okay, Bill, let's go out and try it now.
Do we have Mike on the phone today?
Yes.
Hey, Mike, great to have you. When you gave me your number last night, I missed by 1. So when I gave our producer the number, we got SunTrust or something. So we got you. So congratulations on your Victor Lerner Award.
Thank you very much.
So,
Quite an honor.
Why don't you tell people kind of what the award is and what it's going to mean to you?
Well, the award is the Bowling Proprietors Association Hall of Fame. Basically, it's a person has done a lot for, just like any Hall of Fame. Someone has done a lot for the industry, volunteered their time, and has left their mark on the bowling industry. For me, it's a culmination of all the years. I started on the board in 1988 and was president in 2000, 2002, and did a lot of things, in the BPA to change how it operated. And to get the award is just, just very exciting. Just more or less lets me know that they appreciated all that I've done for the industry, and it feels really good.
Yeah, and you'll be receiving the award at Bowl Expo this year, which, nicely enough, is right in our backyard in Orlando this year.
Yes, that makes it really nice because, I have 2 centers in Florida, so it'll be easy for me to get my family and my management team up there to support me, so it'll be really nice.
Now, we mentioned Cypress Lanes in Winter Haven. What are the other centers?
I have Strikers Family Sports Center in Sunrise down by Fort Lauderdale, and we have Z-Strike, which is a boutique center in downtown Kansas City with my partner, Paul Barkley.
Yeah. Okay, so mentioning Sunrise, Florida, I was bowling the senior state tournament this weekend and was crossing with a couple of guys from Miami, and there's like one bowling center left in Dade County. So, you must get a lot of bowlers.
Yeah, well, the Miami would be a great market for someone to build. The problem is all the centers that were there, the land became so valuable that they were offered money to sell the business, and proprietors couldn't help themselves. Land values have priced the bowling now because you only charge so much for a game of bowling. There's only so much income that can be achieved, and when the property values go way up, it makes it tough. Same thing as happens in New York, Chicago, L.A., and they just get pushed out to the suburbs.
Now, I know an example for real estate values. When Don Carter was first building his bowling center in Kendall, I said, Don, this is crazy. There's nothing out here at all. And within a couple of years, it was just swamped. So the guy had some foresight into what was going on in not only the bowling business, but the economy in general.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing. They were doing it at the right time at the right place, and they did very well with that. Now, there's centers that have done that in 06, 07, 08, and they haven't achieved that value yet because of the crash in 08, so they're all sitting out there waiting. But that's the best way to do it in the bowling industry, is to get something out a little farther and let them grow to you. It's one of those things, as we're going out there and buying more centers, it's just what you can charge for the game and what you can, what type of mortgage payment you can pay or rent you can pay.
Right, because it's just a finite number of games that you can get in there, and as I said, a certain amount. I remember when bowling cracked the dollar barrier, I was like, no one will ever bowl for $1. Now that you find $1 a game and place is packed.
Yeah, we have that in Fort Lauderdale. We do that late at night on Mondays and Tuesdays, and they'll pack them out from 10 to 2 for $1.
Now let's brag about your center in Cypress Lanes a little bit. You've got a great pro shop there with 2 highly decorated individuals in there.
I tell you, if I could take Cypress and duplicate it around the country, I could retire real quickly. It's a very beautiful center. We just did almost $1 million renovation, and it's all couch seating. It's all really high-end stacked brick, granite. The bathrooms are all granite and stainless steel, and I just kind of went overboard on it, but it's been my pride and joy. And my first child, I bought it in 1988, and it's just a beautiful facility. We have a great staff, and like you say, we have Kegel, half the pro shop there. We have the Cats on Lane 1 and 2, which they do, all types of coaching classes for that. We have, Mary Fran and Vernon are excellent people there, and they do a fabulous job. And for a small town in Winter Haven, we have one of the best pro shops, one of the best, other than going to Kegel direct and doing the training. We have the best crew because they are Artego people that are up here. It's just a fabulous center. People in Winter Haven are very lucky to have a facility that is top-notch for them. I'm very proud of the staff that we have here.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you mentioned restroom, a comparable, I was just at Spring Hill Lanes, and they've redone their bathrooms, and it's amazing how much credence people will put into a location, especially like a restaurant, based on what their restrooms look like.
Well, if you have a wife, you'll know the reason for that. When I was talking with my contractor, I said, look, on the bathrooms, I want to have it so when there's two women sitting out back talking, I want one woman to say to their woman, by the way, have you seen the bathrooms at the bowling center? That's how I want my bathrooms. It's important to women. I had a wife and two daughters, so I know how important bathrooms are.
Yeah, I even had to mention to my wife, how'd your bathroom look over there? And she says, wow. I mean, nice shiny tile, it said granite sinks and the whole thing. And so,
yeah.
Coincidence or not, a lot of the recent Victor Lerner Award winners have been from Florida. Pat Sanello, the two Beaujays, and even Kevin Kraus this year, kind of the next category down from you is a winner this year.
Well, Florida has always been very active, very out-of-the-box thinking, and we have a lot of centers down here that are high-end. We put a lot of energy in marketing, a lot of time and money in updating our facilities. Unlike any other part of the country, when we have a lot of seniors here that come down and they just say, "Oh, I wish our centers up north were like that." And it's, I've come from Ohio, and Ohio is a great state, a great bowling state, great bowling association. But we just don't put the energy and the money into our facilities up there like we do down in Florida. And a lot of that has to do with Florida as a year-round business. I mean, I'm packed in the summer, and up north, it may be closed in the summer because the business isn't there. So it really becomes an economic issue of, how much can you afford to put in a facility by how much you make. And Florida has that luxury of being a year-round business, and we can make the income to make our centers more progressive. We have to do more progressive because a lot more open play is involved, and to get open play takes a lot more marketing than league play. So it just forces us to be more aggressive. And there are a lot of great guys down here, a lot of great talent, men and women that are in the bowling industry. I've just been fortunate to come down here and meet them and be a part of the Florida group.
And why can't we get any PBA stops in Florida, being as though all the awards we get and everything going on in Florida itself?
Well, because of what I just said about being busy. I had the PBA National in Toledo I ran for a number of years, the Imperial Lanes. And when I came down here in 91, 92, we had the Florida U.S. Open. I got Anthony to run the PBA tournament, I think, in 95. We got him to do a stop over in Tampa. The problem is it costs a fortune to run an event. And we don't have enough corporate support down here to really help pay for it. So a lot of it may cost 30, 40 grand for a center to host an event. And you got a center that's down here that make a lot more money, and you've got a lot more investment. You can't afford to lose $45,000 of income and $30,000. So it's say time you're doing the extra payroll, it's $100,000 loss for the center. So he has to say, okay, is it worth $100,000 for me to have this event here this week? Just no one's really pulled the trigger on that because they just didn't see where that would be cost effective.
I always thought maybe the tour should switch to like after the Super Bowl and run like maybe February through up to November or something because of that reason, especially centers up north, like you say, summer they have no business. Okay, it'd be great to have the stop then and have the pros there. And you would still get the people watching them because you'd have the league still be going on when they start up, and you would have the league starting up when they're finishing the tour.
Yeah, the situation with the tour, like up north, the best time for us, we always held it the first week of February at PBA National, and that was the best time because it really comes down to corporate sponsorships and your pro-ams. And I used to run 2,600 pro-ams. I would, get 140 patron sponsors. We could make a lot of money off that tournament. And the PBA National back then was, it was pretty much a 9-day event for us. and it made sense. Corporate sponsorships are hard. Pro-Ams are really tough to get now. And they don't have the bowlers. You can only have so many Pro-Am events because you've only got X number of pros that can bowl. So that cut way down when they started doing that format. And at the end of the day, the proprietor has to pay to host the event. He's got to give up the center. He's got to pay all this help. And the only way he makes that money back is gate receipts of Pro-Am and sponsorships, local sponsorships that he can get. And if he can't make that all happen, that becomes a real loss.
Yeah, and back then, the Pro-Am entry would include a bowling ball. Now you give everyone a bowling ball, and now you got to hear the grief from the pro shops as well.
Well, we heard the grief back then too. I mean, it was always an unpleasant situation. We would go ahead and have all the, we didn't drill the balls there. We would give certificates out to the bowlers to go to the pro shops, and then we'd reimburse the pro shops for the grilling, and then we, talk to them, upsell them for balls and all that, or bags and shoes. But at the end of the day, it did hurt the pro shops a little bit. But, it was the way it just brought bowling to Toledo, and we did the tournament in Detroit also at our Sleeper Center, and we would pack the people in there. But it just rejuvenates people about bowling. So it's one of those intangibles that always happens, like advertising. It does promote bowling. It's on TV all week, so does that help people buy more balls and bags and equipment? Does that help people bowl more in all the other centers in the town, not just the center of tournaments at? Those are things that you really can't really measure, but we all know that those are tangibles that happen. Anytime that you can get a community excited about bowling, it just makes them think about it more, makes them go practice, makes them go, oh, let's go bowling this weekend. And as a rule, everything will do better in the industry in that town when you hold a PBA event. But they're not so happy to help support it when you're holding it.
Right. Now you will be doing your acceptance speech at the IBE, and I'm sure you've taken some, let's say, some help and tips from Pat Sinello, seeing that you do have a wife, on who you want to make sure you recognize.
Oh, you gave away my opening statement. Yeah, so Pat told me, I might as well get this out of the way. I'm going to thank my wife first. So I was just at Pat's for the weekend for the Super Bowl. And I don't think we ever let that go away. We always razz him about that.
Oh, definitely. Even when Jeff Boget went in last year and they had the party for him, it was just make sure that you talk with Pat and what not to do. For those that may not be aware of when Pat Sinello received his Victor Lerner, he went through a litany of people to thank, those that were present there, and he did forget to introduce his wife.
It was funny. So somebody whispered, as he's just getting ready to come out, everybody's shaking his hand after his speech, and somebody had whispered in his ear, and all of a sudden he rushes back up to the mic, and everybody in the room knew what he was doing. They're all waiting for him to find out he forgot her.
Mm-hmm.
Like he said, it cost him an expensive piece of jewelry. But
yeah, made International Diamond Source a good customer that weekend. So
yes.
And this year, then, hey, I guess you're going to be the warm-up act for George W. Bush then.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, I mean, we had the senior on a few years ago, and he was pretty good. I mean, kind of making fun of himself for falling when he tried to bowl, when people didn't realize that he bowled left-handed, and they gave him a pair of right-handed bowling shoes.
Yeah, he was pretty good. Actually, I got the privilege of having breakfast with him that morning in the Opryland Hotel boardroom. I was an officer at that point. He was, just down to earth, and that was just after his presidency, and we were talking about Iraq, and he made some comments about that. And I thought that's kind of funny. He could just come off the shoulder with some of the, but it's just like we knew each other for years. He's a great guy. I really enjoyed having breakfast with him.
Yeah. So I think we're all looking forward to Bowl Expo in Orlando this year, and I guess we're going to do a little trip up to Disney if people want, and find out how to run a business like a Disneyland operation. So a lot of good things going on.
That should be interesting. I look forward to that. They can sign up for that. There's a fee, obviously, for it, and they can run as many classes as people sign up. So you want to learn how to run a business. Those guys know how to do it, obviously.
Absolutely. So we'll be looking forward to seeing you there. And Thanks for hanging in with us and talking with us today.
All right, no problem. Take
Thanks a
care.
lot. We'll look forward to seeing you at Bowl Expo. Bye-bye. All right, we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back with some more surprises. Do you or someone you know own a bowling center? Are you thinking about remodeling? Are you going to be changing your scoring system? Then 12 Strike, the gold standard in automatic scoring solutions with automation and graphics with over 300 exciting 2 and 3D still graphics and animations for league and open play. The animated 3D graphics appear to jump more than 6 inches off the screen, activated by strikes, spares, and other bowling scenarios. 12 Strike Bowling Services has produced automatic scoring products internationally since 1989. 12 Strike has been the innovative leader in the scoring industry. Together with Seidel Research, 12 Strike offers bowling center proprietors the edge they need to stay ahead of the competition. Our 2010 12 Strike scoring system uses the latest version of Central Desk Pro, point of sale, and back office software that has now been integrated into the single computer running under Microsoft Windows 7 environment. To learn more about scoring, make product inquiries, or obtain pricing details by emailing us at sales@12strike.com or by calling 562-984-6240. We now have furniture for your bowling center at great low prices.
Joint pain, arthritis, osteoarthritis, and degenerative joint disease do not discriminate. Painful arthritis strikes 1 in 5 adults, children, and also our furry friends. Protect our joints and let's take care of your pets too. Lubricin is all natural, oral, hyaluronic acid, which is produced in your body naturally. It helps to support your joint fluid, but as you age, your natural levels drop, thus needing help to lubricate our joints. Well, animals are the same, so let's help them out so they can feel great too. Go to Lubricin.com, Lubricyn, or call 800-901-8498 and use promo code TAMPA for 15% off. ParadiseTeaTimes.com is your fastest and easiest online booking website around. Locally owned and operated, they offer hundreds of tea times in these Florida areas: Tampa Bay, Sarasota, Bradenton, and Orlando. With no membership dues or booking fees, you get to spend your money where it counts, playing golf. ParadiseTeaTimes.com is giving you 5% rewards for every tea time booked, and sign up today to receive $20 rewards credit. That's right, just for signing up today, $20 rewards credit. Check out our website for courses, members events, hotel accommodations, stay and play, plus a chance to win free golf. Golfing at your fingertips is ParadiseTeaTimes.com.
Dunedin Lanes offers a full-service family bowling center and is located at 405 Patricia Avenue in Dunedin. They feature 24 lanes with the latest in computerized scoring and children's bumpers available on every lane. Check out their Cosmic Bowling Nights on Friday from 9:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. and on Saturdays 9:30 p.m. till midnight, which offers a state-of-the-art light and sound system for your enjoyment. Hey, moms and dads, Dunedin Lanes offers family night out specials every Saturday, 7 till 9 p.m. Looking for somewhere to get a good meal at a great price? Then the Chatterbox Restaurant is the place. Any questions, you can contact them at 727-736-1282 or go to DunedinLanes.com on the web. That phone number again, 727-736-1282. Dunedin Lanes.
Get fit, have fun, make friends at Core Total Fitness, located on US 19 in Newport Richey. Come celebrate your fitness with us. Core offers a full group exercise schedule: Zumba, yoga, spin, and specifically designed classes for mature adults. Splash in our pool or relax in the sauna and jacuzzi. As a member, you will receive a free personal training session with a Life Center exercise physiologist. We have free Wi-Fi and coffee in our cafe, and we're family friendly with a supervised kids zone. So stop by Core Total Fitness today at US 19, Newport Richey, or call us 727-264-8998. Mention you heard us here and receive a free VIP 1-week pass.
Countryside Lanes, they have new owners now, John Laspina, and we're actually making a lot of new changes to the bowling center. And for all of you who don't know where it's at, the address is 27867 US Highway 19 North, Clearwater, Florida 33761. Right now, we're actually going to be taking out the monitors and putting in flat screen monitors, and we're going to be changing a lot of things around in the bowling center. We are offering Bowling 2.0. We're giving away free bowling and free bowling lessons, and I'm actually the head coach of the program. Right now, we are doing 3 different groups. We have adults, seniors, and family. This is their 5th bowling center. They have most of their bowling centers in New York.
And it is a beautiful facility. They've got a wonderful restaurant, bar, everything in there. Definitely check it out if you have not. Wonderful place for the family. Wonderful place for an evening out, whether it be date night or guys' night or girls' night out. Definitely check it out. And like you say, take up Ashley on her opportunity to get free lessons and free bowling. It's like anything else. If you know how to do it properly, it is a lot more fun.
And if you are interested in signing up, just call the bowling center up, 727-796-8100, and just tell them you want to sign up for one of the Bowling 2.0 programs. And we actually just started our merchant program, too.
And what about the website?
It's countrysidelanes.net, and we also have a fan page.
Craig Hill of Craig's Insulation has been in the insulation business for over 40 years and has owned his own company for 20 of those years. Craig and his sons do all of the work, and they take pride in doing a great job for everyone every time. Using only the finest products, Craig's Insulation specializes in re-insulating attics with both blown fiberglass and radiant barrier insulation. They can offer prices that are 50% lower than the big guys because they do the work themselves. When it comes to saving money, insulation is no hype. With Craig's Insulation, an average homeowner can recoup his investment in about 18 months with the money saved on energy bills. Call Craig today at 727-420-2883. That's 727-420-2883. Or email him at craigsinsulation@hotmail.com. That's craigsinsulation@hotmail.com. Don't wait to start saving money. Contact Craig's Insulation today.
Hi, this is Michael Duquette from Winter Haven, Florida at Cypress Plains, and when I like to stay up on my game, I listen to the Let's Go Bowling radio show.
Welcome back to Let's Go Bowling, and I'd like to want to thank Mike for coming on, and congratulations again for
Absolutely.
the award and doing a little promo there for us. Bill, how about let's go ahead and do a tip. We haven't done a tip in a while.
A tip.
And I know you always have some good tips.
Well, when we normally talk with the coaches and the pro bowlers, the predominant one we get is spare shooting. The other important thing, and it's kind of a lost art these days, is that P word, practice. I know with a couple of nagging injuries I've had between Achilles heel and a little sciatica and getting lazy and old, it's 3 games a week, whether I want them or not, and my bowling has suffered. And this week, because I was bowling the senior state tournament, I actually threw a few balls just to kind of loosen up. So I had a class on Monday, so I threw a couple of shots there. And then over the weekend, we bowled 6 games for the doubles and singles and 3 games for team. And then I went out for league yesterday and went 240, 260, 240. Cashed in all 3 Nassaus, won the clean series pot. And the only thing that changed is I bowled a bunch of games before the league. And we kind of undervalue what practice can do because your game just starts flowing again. Obviously, if you've got no game to start with,
right,
then, yeah, you want to practice with a coach that can actually watch you and see what you're doing wrong and make recommendations rather than, as they say, practice makes perfect. Well, no, practice makes permanent. If you're doing it wrong, you're going to keep doing it wrong. And then it's going to take more work to change you to the correct way of doing it. And even when you make a change, you have that comfort zone that you kind of wander right back into again. So you definitely want to go out and practice. Well, we were just talking with Mike Ducat, and we know, bowling's $4 or $5 a game for prime times. But almost every center has a Sunday morning or a weekday night where it's a low rate, either like per hour or per game, and it'll come out to like $1 a game. And it's just a matter of taking advantage of that. You just cannot expect to go out on a Saturday, a weekday night at 7 o'clock and practice, because the leagues are going to be there. So find a time that's mutually convenient for you and a bowling center that you can go out, and even if it's just an extra 3 games a week, but the more you bowl, the better you're going to get at it. And you don't want to be one of those weekend warriors where, oh, okay, I'm going to go out and bowl 20 games. It's much better to bowl, let's say, 4 or 5 games every other day, give the body a chance to heal in between, like a workout program. You just don't want to tear the muscles up every day. You got to give them a chance to heal again. So find a time where, if you're bowling, let's say a Tuesday night, maybe find a Saturday or a Sunday that you can practice, or a Thursday night, and try to spread it out a little bit. Don't go out and practice Tuesday morning and then bowl Tuesday night and expect everything to get fixed.
That line of thinking as far as bowling 20 games, and what really is the big thing that I think that hurts on doing that, you're not in condition, and now you're going to start changing things to bowl the 10th game, the 12th, the 15th. You're going to have so many bad habits going on because you're going to be tired, and you're going to be forcing, and you're going to try to muscle the ball. And now you're going to take that when you bowl your league, you're in that frame of mind instead of how you would normally be.
Right. And you just don't want to go out and practice throwing strikes. So it's like, hey, yeah, I had a 300 game in practice. Big whoop. What you want to do is practice things you're not good at. So if the house is just a stone wall on second arrow, then practice playing first arrow, so kind of an idea of what happens when the lanes are drier, or practice playing third arrow, and you can even alternate, go first, second, third, fourth if you're gutsy enough, and use the same ball for each one of those 4. And then the opposite is pick one position and try all your different balls and see what kind of a different reaction. So then when you do need to make a change, you're a lot more knowledgeable, other than just a crapshoot of, well, let me try this ball over this one. Have some input already of, well, if I'm going to make a change, this is what I want to do. I want to go to this ball and stay in the same place, or keep this ball and move into this. And the more comfortable you are, the easier it is to make that change, rather than driving home thinking, oh, man, I wished I'd done this instead of staying in the same place all night and losing all your brackets and whatever else you might have.
The biggest problem also is the concentration, especially like with the pros. When you're missing easy spares, it's because of your mind wanders. It's not that it's a hard spare to make. It's your mind. You just figure, I'm not doing anything. Just go up there and throw the ball. And next thing you know, you miss it because you weren't really paying any attention.
Yeah, sometimes your mind is just too small to be out wandering by itself.
That could be probably a lot of problems and a lot of people. And you see a lot of guys on the tour, when they miss those spares, it's not that they can't make it, and they could make 99 out of 100, but there it is, TV thing, boom,
yeah,
because they just didn't pay attention.
They're living in the past of, well, man, how did I leave that? And then living in the future of, well, next ball up, I'm going to do this, instead of staying in the moment and focusing on that one spare shot. And another practice technique is, you get your favorite ball or 2. Don't use those. Go back into your closet and find an old ball that still fits comfortably, or get it adjusted, and practice with that, rather than burning up your new ball that, I mean, some people say, oh, 6 months, the ball's defunct. Well, I'm still bowling with some stuff pretty good that's 2 or 3 years old. But where before it used to be 20 years old for stuff would last.
But why wear that ball on practice?
Right.
When you're just working on release, maybe hitting your mark, things like that. So that's just really a waste.
Right. Trying some different techniques. And it always doesn't have to be the right one. I know we've talked with some of the bowlers. I know when we were kids, and hopefully the kids are still doing it this year, they imitate the pro bowlers. I mean, we used to do the Harry Smith and the Don Carter and stuff like that. Hopefully they may be experimenting a little bit two-hand, trying Sean Rash or Tommy Jones or Walter Ray, trying the different releases and seeing what works well for them. So there you go. So practice, folks. Practice does pay off.
PBA League Season 2 begins this Sunday at 3 p.m.
3 o'clock, yeah. So we kind of float around in times. So they're changing the format. Hopefully we could have had Tom Clark to talk about this today and explain it a little bit more in detail. But it also looks like we've got corporate sponsors, because I'm looking at the LAX presented by GoBowling.com, which is owned by LA Clipper star Chris Paul, who we didn't get to see this weekend because he was injured. And they're bowling against the Brooklyn Styles, presented by Concrete Software, PBA Bowling Challenge, owned by actor Jesse Williams. So now we've got those sponsors in there. So this is kind of big names. We thought the Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles or whatever was a long name. But they're doing it differently. Instead of all the teams being out there and then seeing snippets, it's more like one team against another, and they have singles, doubles, best ball, alternate doubles, Baker trio, Baker team. So one team will bowl against another one, and then the winner will then advance on. So for the next few weeks, we're going to see a presentation of one team against another team, which is more what we're used to seeing in team sports.
No Baker Act teams?
The Baker team, not a Baker Act.
No,
that's
not a Baker.
another thing.
I'd be on that team.
I know.
And also, Bill, you got the Motion Pro, and that'd be great software to get to go ahead and film yourself when you're bowling good or when you're bowling bad. So now you can have a piece of software. You can send that to somebody to evaluate it. And also, they remember that little app for the phone that they charge $9.95 for to show you where to stand in the lane conditions?
Right.
That is free now. And he has another app, which I believe it's $5, where you can plug in everybody on the lane, the two lanes, like your team members, and see all their patterns and how the lane breaks down.
Wow. That's something
Motion
good to play
Pro.
with.
You can go right on our website, motionprosoftware.com. Check that out, and you can go ahead in the Play Store to look up for the Motion Pro, the bowling app, because that's free.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have a coach, but the video would be a coach then. Because I remember Norm Duke, when he'd show up at Kegel, he was just happy to be by himself. I mean, he'd throw a ball, come back, look at the ball speed, look at the video, see if there was anything different one shot to another, which you can do by yourself. And if you don't have a coach that you trust, then you've got that to fall back on. And once you throw a good shot, that's your pattern. That's what you want to repeat.
All right, another show going into the can, the Hall of Fame can.
There you go. Yep, so if you missed it, you're not listening now, but Ken will have it up probably by the weekend, and you can listen to Mike Ducat and Ken and I ramble on.
Check the website, and I'd like to thank Caber Productions for the show. We'll see everybody next week.
WTAN, Clearwater, Tampa Bay. WDCF, Dade City, Tampa Bay. WZHR, Zephyr Hills, Tampa Bay. Listen.
It's time for the Wednesday edition of Canada Calling, the news from home for vacationing Canadians. This is Prior Smith reporting. Our newscast today, a presentation of Roam Mobility, a Canadian company keeping you connected across the U.S., free from U.S. roaming fees, with unlimited talk and text plus data for just $3.95 a day at roammobility.com. And again today we have the pleasure of broadcasting live from Walt Disney World here in Orlando, from the Disney Hollywood Studios, a must-see when you visit Walt Disney World this winter. In the news, another chapter is unfolding in the ongoing Senate spending scandal in Ottawa. Retired Liberal Senator Mac Harb and suspended Senator Patrick Brazeau have been charged with defrauding taxpayers by claiming travel and living expenses that the Mounties claim they weren't entitled to. Still under investigation are two other Tory appointees who are under suspension, Senators Mike Duffy and Pamela Wallin. Well, Target's invasion of the Canadian market has stumbled badly in its first year of business north of the border.